It's Week 11 of the National Football League. All eyes are on Jamar Chase. Always staying busy, he's your league leader in receiving yards. It's the Bengals and the Ravens under the lights on Sunday night.
The rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland.
This is our last chance.
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gardner. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Season is hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
They go play action now. Jackson. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And that certainly could be a sign of things to come, because they're blitzing to start this ball game, and it works for them there as they force the incomplete pass.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. And now hang on here. Looks like we have an injured player. Yeah, Mark Andrews is in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Jackson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First, and he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game, because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 41-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him, because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
To throw is Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. You talk about this Bengals defense, and they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively, because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down, a nice, consistent gain.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a handoff up the middle. Rush. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
They'll keep it on the ground. Rush. And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals 21. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Play action. Now Jackson. And it'll be intercepted.
It's DJ Turner who's got it. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
Here are the Bengals on offense, and here is Joe Burrow ready to lead them at quarterback.
And he's certainly putting together an MVP-type season, leading the league in both passing yards and touchdown passes. There have not been too many defenses that have been able to stop him or even slow him down. So he's got his sights set on another big game right here.
Here's Burrow.
He will find his man Chase complete. He's to the 15.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase
with his 16th touchdown of the year.
And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he continues to show off his ability to run the football when the opportunity is right. He is the NFL leader in rushing yards from the QB position.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Up the middle they go. Rush.
And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Well, this defense for the Bengals.
Very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. That is caught.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Rush. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down.
Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
On 1st down, Stallings. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Logan Wilson that time there to bring him down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Up the middle they go. Rush. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it.
47 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. And they'll keep leaning on the running. To the ground. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Bengals offense and Joe Burrow getting set for this next drive. And as we transition into the second half of the season, he continues to put up big numbers on a consistent basis. Currently the NFL's leader in passing as we play here in the month of November. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
These two teams met in Cincinnati earlier in the year with the Bengals coming out on top. So a win here in Baltimore would give them the season sweep.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Open man is Higgins. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
First catch of the game by Higgins, and he's got his guys a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. It's a nice zone breaker right there. Take the tight end, move him out to the slot, then have him run a corner route versus the zone coverage, which means he's going to be behind the shallow coverage and ahead of the deep coverage, put the ball right on him.
John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag, and he'll do so here.
The previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Now Burrow.
That one caught by Polk.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Consecutive catches for him. That good for 11.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
To the air again, Burrow.
That's taken in by Higgins.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now a handoff up the middle. Spencer.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This one into the hands of Burton. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Second down and a yard. Now it's Burrow. And he's got it. And the Bengals are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Touchdown, Bengals.
Jamar Chase
with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Bengals will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there, because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Here's Jackson to throw.
Going for Bateman. He's got him on the out route.
And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
He'll find Bateman once more.
Only able to gain a couple there. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had to read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Jackson. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Now Jackson. And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense, because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. And that'll bring up 4th down as his Cincy defense stands up on 3rd.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And his kick is indeed good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going.
And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, where it was our visitors who were able to walk away with the road victory. Malachi Corley, a touchdown catch in the victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that ball game to the visiting Cleveland Browns. Jerry Jeudy, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. And finally, on Monday Night Football, they've got a good one lined up between the Houston Texans and the Miami Dolphins. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way. Both these teams getting a chance to dry out, maybe change their cleats if need be, but halftime's just about over. Time to get back to it. And for the call of the second half, here's Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Bengals offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's building his case for MVP consideration with each passing week. He's the NFL leader in touchdown passes as we move into the back half of the season. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now it's Burrow. And Charles, they've got the lead. There he goes left side. He's to the 15, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. 72 yards. And the Bengals come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a free possession game.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. They'll keep it on the ground. Rush. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Jackson from the shotgun. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. Well, just a lot going on there in the middle of the field, and this one winds up a turnover.
Yeah, to run a crossing route here, and the idea of it is to get defenders confused about who to go with. But if you throw it too early, sometimes it's your quarterback that gets confused, and here he throws it into coverage and gets it intercepted.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Here we go.
Burrow will throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Burton.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd down and 4.
Burrow looking to pass.
On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's not locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Throwing again, it's Burrow.
Over the middle, he finds Higgins.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd down from the 8. They can get a 1st down by reaching the 5.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession here as they've got it at their own 4-yard line. So the pass interference call on the offense obviously declined, and this will remain a turnover.
Now it's Jackson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Jackson now. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now a give, right side. Rush. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. He did well to get him 8 yards, but it's still going to mean a call to the punt team on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati set to take over once again. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
I'm one, ready?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He finds his man complete. That's Spencer. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Throwing again on second down. Burrow able to find Higgins. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Again, it's Burrow. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase with his third touchdown and 18th on the year. And the Bengals are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game, throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air. And that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Here's McPherson now to send it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense and Lamar Jackson set to take over once again. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. From the gun, it's Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 8.
Throwing is Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down. Needed the 40, but he's a yard or two shy. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Spencer. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. The numbers throwing the ball have been great. He's up over 300 yards now for the game. 2 yards to go, 2nd down. Here's Burrow. And he'll go right back to Chase. That's caught again. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the 4th, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
Here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. And McPherson on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one.
So they'll get nothing out of that play, and that'll make it second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. 2nd and 10. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw is Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Spencer, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll keep it on the ground. Spencer, he'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Well, this was a really nice display, Charles, of complimentary football, especially how much they were humming in the second half to pull away and get the victory. Really a complete performance.
And so much fun when you're able to have everyone contribute, both sides of the ball. You go back in the locker room and you just savor it, right? Because that's what football's all about. A true team game, and they got it done in this one.
So for the Bengals, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year.
And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.